Thursday. Welcome to Compliance Line Presents. So this is our new format. I'm Amanda Hosenfeld. I'm the Learning and Development Coordinator for Compliance Line. Here with me I have the lovely and talented Kaylin Gomka. Hi, Kaylin.
Hi.
Do you want to tell everybody your title?
Sure, yeah, I am a call center manager here, so I am focusing on operations of our call center. If you ever have a helpline with us or want a helpline or have one already, then I'm the one who's working with our agents.
Okay, great, thanks. And we're welcoming a special guest here today, Chris. Hi, Chris. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, what is your title? What do you do here?
So I am the business development manager for Compliance Line. I wear a lot of hats here, but mostly I'm helping to manage all of our channel partnerships as well as do new business sales for the company.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
we're
absolutely.
excited to have you. So a little bit about the new format. If you are not new to our show, you'll notice that we have a missing Matt Kelly.
Yeah.
He's actually here in the room. Hi, Matt. He's behind the you can't see him, but he's waving. He is behind our producer station. So that brings us into kind of what has changed and why it's changed. We wanted to bring more inclusive content, more in-depth content, more than just this is how you use our system. And so we changed the entire format of the show. We built a studio. We brainstormed some topics. We've got some really special guests that are coming in. So this is going to be our format moving forward. We're really excited about it. So we hope you are too. So let's talk about what happened last time on the show and then what's going to happen on this show moving forward. The last time we had a show, it was our audio only sanction chat road trip where we overviewed the map from putting in a name and getting sanction checks on employees to a clear employee list. If you still have questions about that, you can reach out to us, sanctionchat@sanctioncheck.com, or of course support@sanctioncheck.com. You can also view that episode out on our GoToStage channel at gotostage.com/channel/sanctionchat. You can also see all of our previous Compliance Live episodes and trainings out on gotostage.com/channel/Compliance Live. And while I'm rattling off web addresses, all of this content will be available after post-production at gotostage.com/channel/Compliance Line Presents.
Brand new.
Yeah, so it's new format, new shows. We're gonna break up some things. We're gonna clip things out. We're gonna make it easier for you to access all of the information. So let's talk about what we're going to be discussing this week on Compliance Line Presents. We are bringing you 5 unique hotline applications, but they're really not just for hotlines, right? They're more of an intake method.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. When we say hotline, what's the difference between hotline and intake methods?
Well, so if I could take this one,
Sure.
is that all right?
Sure.
Yeah. So actually, in any compliance program, right? I think you need to give your reporters as many different ways as they can to report on the issues that they know about, right? So the hotline is just one of them. Obviously, a 24-hour reporting hotline where they can report anonymously is one methodology. But another really common methodology is also a web form, right? A web intake form that people can put their information in that way. And so what we've noticed over time is that there's a lot of different unique uses for that hotline and that web form. And I think that's, today's presentation is going to be just to give you a bit more awareness of what you can do with these intake methods and how some of our other clients are using them. Some of them are pretty unique. The one thing I will say is that there's going to be a little bit of an overlap or maybe just a little bit of nuance between some of the things that we're going to talk about today, but we find that they're all important and all ways that we can help you, with these intake methods. So
it's all about your own specific company.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're just doing the out-of-the-box thinking for you.
So if you want to play the at-home version of our game, if you check your webinar handouts, there is a graphic sheet that lists each one of these 5 applications. So if you need to take something to to a boss and say, hey, I heard this great idea. We have pre-made that graphic for you. So we're going to start with number 5. Number 5, unique hotline or intake applications is a designated line. So let's talk about what a designated line is and how it's good for your business.
Yeah, I think that this encompasses a lot of different types of lines. We have a lot of existing clients who have their own designated lines outside of their compliance line or their HR line. Some of those are information or data breach lines, where when there is an information or data breach, they direct those calls to us and we gather information and direct the callers to the right place. Another example would be just for like a compliment line, if you want to kind of recognize employees in a way that's a little like, public, you can have anyone from the organization call us and tell us about those compliments.
Yeah, I think that's becoming a lot more common. I think when people think about a hotline, they're always thinking that it's a sort of a negative connotation. Oh,
right.
you call that when there's an issue or
Complaint
there's
line.
a complaint. Yeah, exactly. But we're finding it more and more that people are using it as a positive thing, right? So you want to say, hey, I got really great service,
Yeah.
or I think this person's doing an amazing job. A lot of companies are using this to base their like bonus structures or spot awards or things of that nature. When they start hearing great things about other employees, they want to recognize them. And it's just one more way that they're really helping to build a great culture at their organization.
So why a designated line? Like, can't I do all of this reporting through my just one number general hotline? Why would I want a designated line?
That's a great question. So I see a lot of this where, a company breaks up lines kind of based on purpose. So I think it's important to do a designated line for just efficiency. Our agents are trained for the calls that they're receiving on that particular line. It's much quicker when, they know when they answer the phone that this is going to be a crisis, or, this is going to be a compliment, and they can just ask a kind of preloaded set of questions and get the caller on and off the phone a little more quickly than maybe they would have otherwise. In addition to that, I think our case management system is great, but reporting is a little easier when you can kind of separate those two different types of calls.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you know every call coming into this line is a call about the Me Too movement, or that you have a designated line specifically for data breaches that you were talking about, that your reporting is going to be easier. And I think that's really important to bring up, that like when we're looking at regulatory federal or state regulations, it's a much easier way to generate reports and then make sure that you're meeting those regulations. Those are hard facts that you can take and submit that data and say, we got 100 calls and 100% of those 100 calls are data breach calls.
Yeah, instead of having to kind of do the math and divvy the calls out.
Filtered down by,
So a lot more efficient. And then I think lastly would be just the routing of those calls, who they go to, who investigates them. I think it's easier to kind of separate, okay, this line, they are for compliance. This goes to compliance and HR. And this line goes to legal or to a different department within the organization. And you brought up Me Too. I wanted to touch on that because I think that's something that is really important. We have, we've had a line here that is specifically for the Me Too movement, and this organization just wanted to make sure that they had a place for their affiliates to call and share those concerns. So that's another use of it as well.
It's super important too, as far as like in your company's marketing as well, to say we have a designated place where our employees can go to address these concerns. But along your lines of the Me Too as well, like the hotline, sometimes things like that can be uncomfortable to talk about with whichever agent that you get. A lot when we had a company that was a heavy usage of that line, some of the people that called in didn't feel comfortable speaking to our male representatives, and so what we did for that and we want to make them as comfortable as possible
Yeah.
in that situation. So that company also had the option to do an intake, a web form. And we got a lot of traffic there because they could tell their own story in their own words.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then like when we see that, ID pop up, we know it's a separate line, and we just automatically, our female representatives take the call.
Yeah.
It's much more efficient.
Wow.